qualify, and gosh, she's really coming to her own. Only a sophomore, but just has that vet presence, that leadership. You feel it.
Crenshaw leads off the Tiger first inning. Julia, who leads Mizzou in a number of offensive categories, including batting average, doubles, homers, runs, RBIs. Stick her right at the top of the batting order. Larissa Anderson, Madison Walker batting in that 6-hole. She's up to 13 home runs.
Yeah, and a little bit of a fear factor there moving into the bottom half of the line.
Well, the weather didn't seem to affect the Texas bats. Maybe it's affecting their defense here early in the game. Big rip by Abiscato.
And Coach Anderson made it clear prior to this series kicking off, the goal has to be to see it down, especially with Kavan. You know that up pitch is her go-to pitch. And she's the type of pitcher where you have to be patient. You have to recognize spin and say, hey, I know she's going to go upstairs, but can I see the difference between a pitch that I can hammer, a pitch is going to climb underneath my bat? And that's also what makes her so tricky. Has that changeup as well. Just straight heat.
Stefania Abiscato does not get cheated with the swings. Strikes out.
But this is the thing, Mark. You don't have to hammer with those types of swings. I mean, we're not winning the game with that type of mentality, right? She's a pitcher where you have to be smart. You have to have a good plan of attack or she's going to eat you alive. And that's a prime example with Abiscato in that at bat. You have to be patient.
Cara Daly, the senior in season 4 for her in Columbia. It's a strike from Kavan. Kavan's last outing against Mississippi State, 6 scoreless innings, only 3 hits, 7 strikeouts. Which has kind of been par for the course for her in 2025.
Good spot by Kavan. And this is where sometimes you question as a hitter. You saw her just go outside. Now you're thinking, is she going to go upstairs? I haven't seen the changeup yet. And at times when you have someone like Kavan who's been thrown the way she has, you technically don't need to really show your changeup until they prove that they can hit something up in the zone. And then that's when you start to kind of evolve a little bit as the game goes on. Maybe that second time through the lineup, you whip that pitch out, make it even more challenging that second, third time through.
Raised the eye level with the previous pitch and then goes down and strikes out Daly for the second out. Larissa Anderson, who was the 10th head coach in Mizzou softball history, now in season 7. Went into the super regional round here last year, which they hosted before falling to Duke. Taylor Ebbs going after the first pitch. .69 miles per hour from Tegan Kavan. Ebbs, the transfer from Kentucky, spent 3 seasons in Lexington. Kavan has her in the hole of the ball and 2 strikes. Leadoff error put Crenshaw at second. She's still there with 2 outs. And the inning ends with a Kavan strikeout. So she bounced back from the air and fans the next three. The Horns lead 4-0. They're a team that leads the SEC in many offensive categories. Batting, slugging percentage, on base percentage, RBIs, all SEC highs belong to the Horns. As a look at Mike White's lineup with Atwood, last year's Big 12 Player of the Year, batting in the cleanup spot. And Good leading off here. It's the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order. And Good sends it in the air to center field. To her left goes Linger, and Kaylee hauls it in for the first out at the top of the second. Now, what we didn't show you before the Mitchell home run, Texas loaded the bases with really kind of three. One was a bunt base hit for Caden Henry, but the other two were kind of balls that just kind of found holes, and they used their speed to beat them out. And it wasn't like that the Mizzou starter McCann was getting knocked around until that swing by Mitchell. This bunt laid down by Bennett, and she's going to beat this out without a throw from the shortstop Updegrove. I know it's a cold day, but already we have seen what Texas that speed does for them offensively.
Well, it's huge, and you look at someone like Katie Bennett in the 9 spot. She's 8 for 9 in stolen bases, so you know that speed factor and that her ability to turn over the lineup is key, and that's exactly what she does in that type of a situation. Now puts Maloney in this situation, but if I'm Missouri right now, Mark, the bunt seems to be something that you're seeing consistency a lot from the top of the lineup as well as the bottom of the lineup. So if I'm Kara Daly or if I'm Walker, I'm fully aware that they're trying to expose us a little bit on the corners, use their speed to their advantage, and having more of that mentality like you will not bunt on us.
Maloney swinging away there, rips it right back through the circle and into center field. So for Texas, that'll work even better than a bunt. That's a base hit, and it's 2 aboard with 1 out.
And just too sweet. She hits it right back up the middle. McCann just leaves this right down the heart of the plate. And listen, this is the stuff that you cannot get away with a team like this.
Already the second hit of the game for Maloney. Here's Caden Henry, who with her base hit, bunt base hit in the first inning, bumped her average from 495 right to the 500 mark for the season to lead the SEC. She shows bunt, takes a ball, both runners going, throw to third base with Updegrove covering very close. And Bennett slides in safely.
And they're pushing the envelope here, Texas. This was close. Updegrove, like you said, she's there, and I think you got to go to replay review on that. I think they got her, Mark.
I do too. Is there enough to overturn the call of safe on the field?
And you can kind of see Updegrove in the shortstop position. You can hear kind of communicating with the dugout over there. I'm surprised that they didn't.
A double steal for Bennett and Maloney. Too late to do it to challenge it now, but another look.
It's just hard because you can't see exactly where the tag is applied. But Texas, yet again, using their speed to put that pressure on the defense to force Missouri here to have to step up and make some big plays.
Henry pops it up. It's drifting out towards shallow left. In comes Dodge, and battling that wind makes the catch. The wind, which was really kind of blowing straight in from right field, is now kind of blowing across the field from left center to right center, and it played with that ball in the air as long as it was up in the air. There's Mia Scott, a base hit her first time up. Already 6 base hits in the game for Texas.
And I asked Coach Mike White about Mia Scott, and one thing that stood out, he says she is a lot more outward this year. You're seeing her connect a little bit more with, especially with the defense up the middle. I think especially with Good in the shortstop position and that vet leadership that Mia has. Connection and to be able to help the younger players is key in them developing as well.
Gets that to the right side. That'll bring a run home, or would have had it not been the third out. They've been scoring a lot, but do not in the second. It stays 4-0. 17. Whew. And you get the #1 team 3 times here over the next basically 24 hours or so.
And it's daunting a little bit, especially if it's not going the way that you want it to go. And when you think about Missouri and the run that they had last year to being 1 game away from punching their ticket to Oklahoma City, this was a team that you thought for sure was going to have that same run. And it's not to say that they still can't make it. Their chances of probably hosting a super regional or regional may be a little bit tougher, but I think it goes to show in the SEC just how challenging week in and week out it is. But to me, more importantly, the ones that are mentally the toughest to endure that week to week and how you can continue to get through, even if it may not go the way you want it to, or you drop a game that you shouldn't. Know that there's a lot of other teams that are going through the same lumps and bumps too.
And they got swept at Kentucky to begin conference play, Mizzou did. Then took 1 of 3 from OU, which for any team other than Texas, that's a big win for an SEC team to at least get 1 victory out of that series with the Sooners. And at Ole Miss, dropped the first 2 last week before winning on Monday. They still have to go to Mississippi State and have Texas A&M, go to Bama, Georgia, all ahead on the SEC slate from Mizzou. And a foul tip into the glove of Atwood is a strikeout of Updegrove. And that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Tegan Cavan after Crenshaw let off the first, reaching on an error.
Well, and just Bayou mentality all day for Cavan. She hasn't even had to go to her changeup, and that's in her hip pocket if need be. But why? When you're able to beat him with the heat at this point, there's no reason to have to bring out the change.
Fouled off by Walker. Madison, first baseman.
But just even thinking, okay, getting swept by Kentucky, but then Kentucky just lost the series to Auburn. Auburn took 2 of 3, and we had Auburn last weekend, and they had not won a game in the SEC. So it just goes to show every single weekend there's just things that can happen.
That shot towards right field, and Wynn kind of holding that up in the air for Maloney as Ashton puts it away for out number 2. First out recorded for Texas by some other method than the strikeout for Cavan. Texas comes in 34-3 on the season. 7-2 in conference play. Pitch that caught the low part of the zone, according to plate umpire Stephen Gould. On Mizzou, true freshman Sophie Smith, who is a Texas native from Spring, Texas. That series last weekend at Ole Miss brought Sophie her first collegiate home run, and it was a grand slam against Ole Miss. 5 RBIs in that game.
That's always exciting. You're a hometown kid, and that Ole Miss series was big. Coach Anderson just talked about like how intense that Monday, mic'd up Monday game was, and how mentally tough that game was, and there was so much energy that went into it. And then they had the midweek game again at the gate. It almost feels defeating if you're a team like Missouri, where you're like, man, we really got to find a way to adjust and make Tegan Cavan work. And her numbers are pretty incredible this year. And I think being someone that's playing the SEC, she's only going to continue to get better.
Martinez, the only players in school history with 250 RBI seasons.
Well, and can you see a prettier swing from the side? So good. And funny enough, with Reese Atwood, in the month of February, she was hitting 370. The month of March, she upped it to 451. And you can tell in April, she's just continuing to get better. She has been so good, so patient, and such a worker.
We had the opportunity to chat with her a couple of days ago, and she said a number of things that really struck a chord with me, Danielle. One was, and I believe she was being completely honest. She said, I never dread coming to practice.
Yeah.
Not afraid to put the work in.
And she made that comment about just what they experienced last year with making it to the Champ Series and dropping 2 and kind of feeling that. And when we asked her the question of what did they learn as a team, she said, well, we have a lot more leaders now and we're hungry and we look forward to coming to practice and getting better and continuing to evolve. And when you are so close, that's almost the driving force when you head into the fall and the winter. It's like, man, we were there, we felt it, we went through the ebbs and flows, and we got the experience we needed. What's the key component that can get us over the hump to win that national championship?
Well, they brought the hump with them from the Big 12. One of the humps anyway. OU. Jolie Mitchell, who homered in her first at bat, a 3-run blast and a 4-run first for Texas. Just kind of pokes one to the right side, but to Sophie Smith, the ground out for the first out at the top of the 3rd.
Well, when we asked Coach Mike White just his thoughts on playing in the SEC, and there's not anything that we're not going to be surprised by moving into postseason and regionals and supers. Like, we will have seen it all. And he was talking about facing someone like Carlin Pickens who throws upper 70s. Like, those are the types of things where when you head into the postseason, you're well versed in, hey, I've gone through this. I know what it's like to face someone that throws 66 to 78 miles an hour. I know the grind of what the SEC is, so I'm not surprised. This is a team that went through it, man. They almost dropped the Super Regionals to Texas A&M. They felt a lot of feelings in the postseason last year.
Yeah, that Super with A&M in Austin was, it had as much drama. It was great TV. Probably not the kind of TV Mike White was wanting to see with all the drama that came. But it was fascinating to watch. That ball's blasted by Stewart towards left center field. Diving catch! Kaylee Linger from Mizzou takes extra bases away.
Mark, this is such a good jump that she got. This is full speed, laying it all out. And this is what you dream about when you're playing outfield. I mean, potential Sports Center top 10, the emotion, trying to fire up the squad. This is so good.
Tell you what, you won't see much better than that right there.
And as a pitcher, those are the things that you need to put into your basket to start to get you going, to feel the moment. At times, yeah, you're down 5-0. You feel that as a pitcher. You feel this sense of like, man, I want to be better. When your team has your back like that, it has to amp you up. And you're seeing Marissa McCann make a little bit of adjustments here in the 3rd inning, throwing that changeup quite a bit more than you saw that 1st and 2nd inning.
Here comes McCann's 50th pitch of the game. 1-2. That play by Linger. And on top of that, it's a 33-degree wind chill out there right now, and she got the great break to get her into the alley to make that play. It would be too easy on a cold day for your muscles to say, wait a minute, I don't want to move just yet. Hang on.
I mean, if you were getting a jump on that, I don't know. No. You know, maybe the hammy would go.
Yeah, there are a lot of muscles that could go. 1-2 pitch. Simmons was a strikeout victim her first time up. Longhorns scored 4 in the first and 1 in the top of this third, leading 5-0. Reese Atwood home run began this inning. 1-2 pitch. Houston area native Katie Simmons. Out of Humble, Texas, on the north side of Houston. We'll get back in the crowd.
This was a team last year that were fortunate to have someone like Lauren Krings, who you knew was getting 2 out of the 3 starts in a weekend. And that's one thing Coach Anderson said, like, we're still trying to find who that's going to be. And it's been Marissa McCann. She's gotten the ball 2 out of the 3 series. But the biggest difference is learning to be, you know, a pitcher instead of just a thrower. There's a difference between how I'm going to make in-game adjustments every single opportunity I get to go through this lineup. What are the tendencies that these hitters are doing against me? What are they swinging at? And that can be the hardest part for pitchers. I'm going to say more so now than ever, because the data and the amount of information that's out there on pitchers, you can know percentages that they're throwing certain pitches at what counts, what they tend to go to certain hitters. It's a lot more challenging. You can see that she's battling 10th pitch.
Simmons, who fell behind, able to come back and work the walk and keep the Texas third alive. It's the first walk of the game allowed by Marissa McCann.
Number 43, Leanne Good.
She hasn't walked many this year. That's just her 33rd walk and just over 100 innings. Brings up Leanne Good. Leanne led off the second and fly to center. Miles per hour. The numbers from last year to this year, big jump. Leanne Good. That's in play on the infield. Wind kind of spinning it around, but the second baseman comes down, and that's caught by Sophie Smith to retire the side. Well, we saw a big.
You need to swing through your shoes. She is going to supply that power. You're seeing some big daddy hacks, and at this point it's more so about being able to kind of get the box a little bit smaller and figure out, okay, what's my window, what's the pitch I want to rip, and how can I see it down.
Kaylee Linger, who made the fantastic catch in center field in the top of the inning, bunts. Kavan fields her position with Bennett covering for the first out. Coming up Monday night, number 4 Texas A&M will take on number 16 Georgia from Turner Softball Stadium in Athens. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on the SEC Network and the ESPN app for another Mic'd Up Monday. Maya Dodge fouls the first pitch off.
And I like that Maya Dodge has kind of really entered this lineup. You see her in that 9 spot, but Coach had mentioned, Coach Anderson in the call this week, that she's had some really good quality at-bats for this team in that pinch hitting role, and that's why she earned the starting opportunity in the midweek game. And you're seeing that kind of translate over into this series against Texas. And it's just the behind-the-scenes work, the hard stuff, the grind when no one's watching, and putting in that work even if you're not that day-to-day starter. And then when opportunities presents itself, you get noticed, you step up, and that's what you're seeing from someone like her in the 9 spot.
Dodge in her second season of the Mizzou program after playing 2 seasons at Northern Iowa. She is a native of Iowa. Two and two. 4 homers for Dodge last year in her first year with Mizzou. That non-conference game on Wednesday of this week against Missouri State, Dodge hit a 2-run home run, her first of this season. And takes strike 3. And it's a half dozen strikeouts one time through the order for Tegan Cavan.
Well, and what makes that so hard is you have a 2-2 count, and sometimes you're overthinking, is she going to climb the ladder and is she going to go upstairs with the rise ball? You're thinking, and then she leaves something a little bit more flat, and you leave it and you kick yourself heading back to the dugout. But at times that's what makes someone like Tegan Cavan so hard to hit, because you'll find yourself stepping in the batter's box at times guessing more than going in with a mentality of, okay, if there's something that's in and around kind of my hammer zone, I'm going to be able to do something with it. But she's definitely carving them up first time through the lineup.
You used the term thinking 3 consecutive times there for a hitter facing Cavan. Are there certain pitchers that you think make hitters overthink?
Well,
because of their it's so good and their stuff and all that comes with it.
I think elite level rise ball pitchers can make it challenging because you look silly swinging out of the zone. But I think sometimes it comes down to not giving in to what their superpower is, and you're seeing them kind of do that today. When you find a way to kind of leave the pitch down in the zone and not swing it something up, you have a little bit more success.
Smashed to third, and Mia Scott
Get out.
picks it and throws her out at first to end the inning. Ball got on her in a hurry. What a play by Mia Scott.
But did you see the pitches that were hit out? Right
Yes.
down the middle of the plate, right? So those are the things that when you're facing tough offenses, when you make mistakes, they make you pay. And at the end of the day, location tends to beat good hitters. So it's being able to put heat on the hands, and you've seen Marissa McCann throw upper 70s. We've seen her hit 72. If you put that stuff on a corner, it's really tough to square that up. You saw in the 3rd inning her go to that changeup quite a bit more. So it's like, what's the consistency we can get with that changeup, with that pitches up in the zone? 72 rise ball up in the zone, that's a tough pitch.
But you're right, this is a Texas offense. I mean, coming into this game, which is their 38th game of the season, they're hitting over 380 as a team. With the 2 homers today, they have 57 homers now as a team. And if you leave a ball over the middle of the plate, they're going to punish you.
And sometimes that's what those types of offenses do, though. They kind of make you overthink as a pitcher, where you potentially make more mistakes because there's this fear that you're like, I don't want to mess up. When in all reality, let it rip. You have nothing to lose at this point going up against Texas. And this is where you learn as a sophomore, especially if you're going to be an ace of a team, what I'm made of. Can I hit good quality spots when I need to?
Just guides that up the middle and into center field.
And that's an example of tipping your cap. She worked it. She got to a 2-2 count. She throws a changeup, and she just kind of hits something right through the middle. Tip your cap, move on, next hitter.
The lineup turns over to Ashton Maloney. Already has a couple of hits. The top 5 hitters for Texas are a combined 6 for 9, 2 times through the order.
Another thing that had stood out to me when we got the chance to talk with Reese Atwood, especially about last year, this year, she said this is definitely a group that really holds themselves accountable and holds the team accountable a lot more. And I think that's how great championship teams are built. Sometimes it's those vulnerable conversations, maybe having to call someone out and needing them to be better, or someone calling you out, making you realize, hey, yeah, maybe I didn't come to practice and show up the way I needed to help better the team.
Sent down the left field side into foul ground. A sliding attempt by Maya Dodge, but it's out of reach. It's not like the 6 through 9 hitters are loafing today, but 1 through 5 kicked it up to another level. When he has 2 of those hits, he's also scored a run. Big 12 first team last year for Maloney. She began this season with a 14-game hitting streak right out of the chute. It's safely in all 3 games of the series last weekend in Mississippi State. There goes the runner. Bennett down to second. Got her.
So good, Crenshaw. This is on the money. She was out by a mile. Picture perfect. Kiddos watching, catchers. See how good that quick transfer, just exactly where it needs to be.
Bennett, who stole a base back in the second, caught stealing here for just the 2nd time all year. And it's the 6th time that Crenshaw has thrown out a would-be base stealer. It's rolled to first, and the tag is made by Madison Walker. So they retire Maloney for the first time today on a 3 unassisted putout.
Center fielder number 21, Caden Henry.
Now you have Mizzou pitcher Marissa McCann trying to face the minimum 3 hitters in an inning for the first time today. She'll deal with the center fielder Caden Henry. Not exactly sure why it's gotten brighter, but perhaps the sun is trying to find a break in the clouds here in Columbia. 0-2. I know this is your first trip to Columbia, Missouri, so hopefully tomorrow the sun will be out when we have our noon first pitch on ESPN2.
Yeah, I left 72 and sunny to a little chilly in Missouri this weekend.
First thing Larissa Anderson said to you was, you know what it's going to be next weekend here? It's going to be 75 and sunny all weekend. At least that's the forecast. Yeah, tomorrow, game 2 of this series, 1 Eastern, noon Central Time, ESPN2. Third and final game of the series will follow on SEC Network Plus. Two ball, 2 strike count. Yeah, whether you're in the Iditarod or coming to the game today, that jacket in the middle was a perfect one. And that ball's hit well towards right field. Fighting through the wind. It's not going to win that battle today. And Abriscato makes the catch to retire the side. We'll visit. A couple RBIs for Atwood. Another 3 for Mitchell. Waits on deck.
Good pitch.
Shea, who is a Texas native from Aledo, Texas, Aledo High School. Ball ripped to left over the head of Cahalan. That's going to score Mia Scott. That's a record-tying run scored by Mia Scott. Just tied Mae Jefferson's school record for runs scored.
And this is just an absolute laser, but left over the
First base number 9,
part of the
Cody
plate a
Mitchell.
little bit too much, and she just pulls it. She's not fooled whatsoever.
222 runs now scored by Mia Scott, which ties Janae Jefferson for the school record. And what is Atwood's third RBI of the game, and it's now a 6-0 Texas lead.
You also have to think here too, Mark, that Jolie Mitchell, I mean, 2 more runs and Texas is in potential run rule territory if Missouri is not able to score.
10th home run of the year for Mitchell. That 3-run blast is part of their 4-run first inning.
I like that pitch. Oh, that's missing. The catcher, you can just see she's saying that it's left up, but
another one fouled. That one hit the foot of Mitchell. Jolie Mitchell out of Rosebud, Arkansas.
I like feel that to my core. Not only because I experienced it, but with the cold and just all the things, that is. Next I'd be going up there like Terminator with the gear on the bottom half. That cannot happen again. It hurts way too much.
Trying to walk it off. They're giving her some time to. Quite saying, you good? All right.
And she's saying no. Doesn't feel good.
Now Mitchell ready for the 3-2 pitch from Touche, and fouls another one, but not off a body part. Six runs, 9 hits for Texas. Just missed, ball 4, and a walk to Mitchell puts her on base for a second time.
Just want to see where this missing.
A little up, maybe?
Fine, Mark, maybe. Yes, top of the zone, a little bit too much, but.
Mike White has the lineup card out. He's going to give Jolie Mitchell a little reprise here after fouling that ball off her foot. We'll find a pinch runner.
She's still limping. It hurts.
Putting a first for
Yeah, Wallace is going to come out. Wallace runs at first, 2 on. Nobody out in the Texas 5th inning. A 6-0 lead for the Horns. Katie Stewart at the plate. For 2 today, but got absolutely robbed on a Sports Center top 10 highlight catch from Kaylee Linger out in left center field last time up. And this one she makes sure Linger can't get to. It's on one out to Cahalan heading for the plate. And Atwood comes in with the second run of the inning.
It's a good piece by Katie Stewart. Turns on it in her half. Reese Atwood, a lot of speed. It's impressive with just her being behind the plate and the power that she has, but also speed on the base.
See that slide into the plate? She just swiped it with her hand. She kind of slid behind it.
Like a swaggy tag?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, yeah. I wasn't sure how to put a label on that slide, but I think you did it.
You know, it's how I used to slide in home.
Really?
No, I usually got it running.
Yeah.
Every now and again. I had 1 stolen base in my career. Proud of that.
Oh.
Yep.
All the years we've been working together, I never knew you had a stolen base.
Yeah, 1.
Feel bad for that catcher. How to play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, it's a 7-0 game. Texas has now scored 7 or more runs in 27 of their 38 games this season. So when you face the Horns, you better have your offense with you. It's out to left center field. Cahalan looks like she... She swings at the first pitch, sends it down the left field side. Claire Cahalan into foul ground, and a sliding attempt comes up just a bit short.
I mean, Cahalan's getting a lot of action out there.
This is her first inning of work out in left field. She's had 3 or 4 balls hit her way. A big run out at second base. If that were to score, that would be a run rule going to the bottom of the inning where Mizzou would have to score. That's caught in right field by Blackston. Wallace, the lead runner, tags and advances to go over to third. Runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Number 5, second baseman Katie Bennett.
Down to the 9th spot in the order, and Katie Bennett, who's 2 for 2 with a couple of hits. One of those a bunt base hit. Horns have scored twice so far here in the 5th. Leads 7-0. Touche's next pitch, ground ball, base hit right field. That'll bring in Wallace. The 8th run of the game. That's fired in by Blackston. And for Bennett, her 10th RBI of the season. The 3rd hit of the game for Katie Bennett.
Doing a good job pulling this pitch hard through the 3-4 hole. Understanding the situation too, right? You have that runner on third base, which now puts Texas in a position to run rule here if Cavan can go out and get 3 outs.
See, the Horns have 16 run rule wins this season. Maloney pops it up to retire the side. Run to extend the games. It's 8-0 last of the 5th. Takes upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. All part of the zone strike. 2-2 at 68 miles per hour from Cavan. Fight that one off. Tegan Cavan, 6-foot sophomore from West Des Moines, Iowa, Dowling Catholic High School.
I'm going to change here.
Well, 69 instead on the outside corner. Gets the job
so far,
done.
65 pitches thrown, only 2 of them have been changeups, and she just says, beat the heat. And this is where you start to interpret as a hitter, and you're trying to pick up spin, and you see that it has that rise ball effective spin, but you leave it, and you get rung up.
10th strikeout for Cavan. Addison Walker, the batter. Fly to right her first time up.
Đúng rồi, chính xác, đưa cho hai mẹ hai
Ball
cái
on a
hồng
strike.
này. Đấy chưa?
And the battery connection of Kavan and Reese Atwood behind the plate, they're
Đó là cho
best
con
friends,
không?
they're roommates. I mean, that's also telling too when it comes to that cat and mouse 2 against 1 mentality. And how much fun it is when you have that, right? At times pitching can feel very lonely and hard, and when you have that person behind the plate that really can kind of help you out is one of the homies. It just kind of gives you that extra confidence, I think, in whether it's this game or you know, a postseason feel game.
Over the hold up. Going to ask for the appeal. First base umpire Bobby DeMeo says she did not go after it. So it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. To third, off the glove of Scott, picks it up and doesn't have a play. Well, we'll see how they score it. Scott made a tremendous play on a hot smash by Crenshaw in the 3rd inning.
Don't even say it. That is not. That's a play. You saw the cat like reflexes. You saw her make that play on. This is a play that Mia Scott needs to make, and she knows it. That's an E5.
And that is charged as an error.
Sorry, I kind of came at you like you were the score guy there. Maybe going to make the decision to call that a hit.
A little aggressive, but that's all right. You're a pitcher, and you're watching a counterpart of Kavan right now, trying to, well, you see the line score. Fouled by Sophie Smith. Well, Mizzou's hit 2 balls hard today off Kavan. They've both gone in the direction of Mia Scott.
Đâu?
You see part of the story here, a big part of the story is what you see in the upper left-hand corner off the bug, Tegan Kavan, and what she's done at this point. But the other part of that is Mizzou needs to score at least 1 run to extend the game, or this game will end after 5 innings and a run rule. That's to right field. Maloney took a step back, now in and to her right, and makes the catch. And Mizzou possibly down to their final out here.
The center fielder, number 99, Kaylee Langer.
There's Kaylee Linger. Early at bat, bunted, was thrown out by Kavan. Six pitches for Kavan here through 4 2/3 innings.
It's back-to-back Bayous. I got to go with the Heat yet again. I'm going with that same spot, maybe painting a little bit, half a ball off.
8-0 Texas. Mizzou needing to score to extend the game. Kavan's pitch. Swing and a miss. First Texas in 5 innings.
It was back-to-back-to-back, just big swings. And that was the one that sealed the deal.
And she threw, was it just 2 changeups this entire game?
2 changeups, 11 hits, 8 runs, obviously some defensive miscues.